Hi boys and girls, today we're going to read this story. It's called Cows in the Garden and it's a level G. Before we get ready to read, let's think about our reading strategies. If we come to a word that we don't know, these are the things we need to do, okay? Let's look at the picture, think about the story, try a word and ask yourself, does it make sense? And does that word look right? And if you're still stuck, go back and reread, try again. You can go back to the beginning of the sentence, you can go back to the beginning of a paragraph. That really helps to try to figure out a word, okay? In this story, Cows in the Garden, Jessica and Daniel help their grandma whenever she has a little problem with her cows. So at the beginning of the story, they show us the cows and they have this, grandma has a beautiful garden on the other side of the cows. And the only thing that's holding the cows in is this old broken down fence. So I don't know if you're thinking what I'm thinking, but one day grandma looks out of her window and cows, she shouted, okay? They were eating her flowers. They had broken through the fence. So dad and grandma run out there and they shoo the cows back. They say, come on, get out of the garden. So once the cows are back in the garden, they have two things that they have to fix. They need to fix the fence and they need to fix the flowers. So dad asks Jessica to help him fix the fence. And so she runs into the shed and she gets dad's hammer. And while they're fixing the fence, grandma and Jessica's little brother Daniel fixed the flowers on the other side. And at the end of the story, the fence is fixed, the flowers are fixed, and the cows are not getting in again. But they're kind of looking at those flowers and thinking about how tasty they were. Okay, now I'm going to show you this book page by page. I want you to take your time and read. And if you get stuck, I want you to think about your reading strategies. Those are the things you should do if it's not making sense or if it's just not right, if you can't figure out the word. Here we go. And that's the end of our story. But before I leave, let's think about some comprehension questions. Who are the characters in this story? What's the setting? Where does the story take place? And what's the problem? That one's pretty easy to figure out. How do they solve the problem? Now think about this story. Retell it to somebody in your family, somebody nearby. Pretend they've never heard it before. Tell them a little about the beginning, a little about the middle, and a little about the end. That's how we retell a story, okay? We need to do all those things whenever we're reading so that we understand what we're reading, okay? Thanks for joining me. See you later.